A few days ago, Elon Musk revealed his next moves regarding upcoming big changes on Twitter, and these changes are very exciting. Elon even semi-joked and posted that next he's buying Coca-Cola and maybe even McDonald's. And it might be surprising to you, but Elon Musk's deal with Twitter is not 100% done yet. There are many risks associated with it, and who knows if it will be finalized or not. Many thought that this deal would never happen. But now, after it happened, and it is a reality, Elon has a lot of opposition that he is dealing with every day. What's even worse, there are few risks that are not dependent on Elon himself, so that makes it even more difficult. Of course, let's be optimistic and let's hope that everything will work out great, but still, there are things that will blow your mind that might get in the way of Musk in the next few months. Many people are excited about the upcoming changes on Twitter. This news that Elon Musk bought Twitter is one of the biggest stories of recent years, that's for sure. And it might be surprising to you, but Elon Musk does not own Twitter Inc. yet. He did, however, sign an agreement to purchase Twitter for $54.20 in cash. The transaction is expected to close in 2022, but it could take up to 6 months. But there are so many things that can happen that could make this deal collapse. There are so many challenges ahead that Elon Musk is facing. These are not simple steps to take, and of course, Elon is doing everything he can to finalize this transition, but there are few shocking issues that might make this deal problematic. Agrawal and his team, as well as the board, are in charge of the company from now until the deal closes, with little or no interference from Musk. They also told employees on Monday that the social network will keep operating as usual until the deal closes. After the deal closes, then it's all Musk. Most notably, the deal must be approved by Twitter's shareholders. Twitter will have to write a proxy statement outlining the transaction, have it reviewed by the Securities and Exchange Commission, send it to shareholders, and give them time to read it before voting. This could take months. There are also regulatory approvals under antitrust laws, for example, that Twitter and Musk must obtain before closing the deal. Elon Musk will also need about $46 billion in cash when the deal closes. He has agreements with banks and with himself to get the cash, but getting it can take time. Twitter will publicly file its merger agreement with Musk in the coming days, outlining what it needs to happen between signing and closing. Then it will begin work on the proxy statement, which is expected to be filed within a few weeks. The company will publicly file its merger agreement with Musk in the coming days, outlining what needs to happen between signing and closing. Then it will begin work on the proxy statement, which is expected to be filed within a few weeks. The background of the merger section will be particularly interesting, describing the history of Musk's negotiations with Twitter, Twitter's consideration of his offer, Twitter's efforts to find other bidders, and so on. Various tweets will almost definitely be mentioned in the report too. So they'll distribute the proxy, schedule a meeting, work to secure financing and regulatory approvals, and hold a shareholder vote. A lot has to happen before this deal can close. Will it be closed? All signs point to yes, but could anything go wrong? Well, first of all, Musk's stance on even buying could change. This usually doesn't happen and is pretty disliked, but since he's the richest man on earth, he's not bound by traditional rules. He has signed a contract that forbids him from changing his mind unless there's a compelling reason. Twitter has signed a merger agreement with an entity wholly owned by Elon Musk, which is obliged to pay $46 billion to acquire Twitter, but that entity, X Holdings Inc., lacks funds. Musk has agreed to put up $21 billion when the deal closes, but that agreement is between X Holdings and Musk. However, Twitter has a limited right to force X Holdings to uphold the agreement and to compel Musk to put up the money necessary for the deal to close. The letter also mentions a limited guarantee in which Musk will guarantee to Twitter the performance of certain payment obligations of X Holdings if the deal does not close, and Musk is not forced to fund. That refers to a reverse termination fee if he's unable to close due to a lack of debt financing. Secondly, Twitter itself could collapse completely. Musk can't just change his mind, but merger agreements typically allow the buyer to walk away, this too without penalty, if there is a material adverse effect at the target company after the deal is signed but before it closes. Another potential issue could be Musk's financing falling through. In rough numbers, if Tesla's stock price falls below $740 before the deal closes, Musk may have difficulty finding enough collateral to cover the entire margin loan. With the success of his various companies, this doesn't look too likely. A higher bidder may impact the deal too. This is unlikely, given that Twitter went through an extremely public sale process and has most likely been desperately looking for another bidder for quite some time. but it is possible that a company may want to buy Twitter, can afford it, is willing to pay more than $54.20, and has simply not made an offer yet. Lastly, Twitter's shareholders have the option to reject the deal. Will they use that right, though? That seems highly unlikely. The board may have been hesitant to sell the company, but decided to do so because of pressure from shareholders. However, the agreement will be subject to a shareholder vote, and the shareholders may vote no. Elon wants Twitter to realize its tremendous potential, he says, and he's not even interested in making money from it. And there are a lot of changes that Elon Musk is planning with the platform, with algorithm, management, advertising, and so on. Even when you check his Twitter account every day, there is some important upcoming change that Elon is announcing. These changes might be very exciting. However, for now, he can't change anything about Twitter until the deal is finalized. Employees who are not happy with Musk being CEO of the company can resign, but Elon can't fire them just yet. Users will just have to wait and see how this turns out. That's it. Don't forget to subscribe.